Put me down, sign up for it, sign up for it, sign up for it. Put me down, sign up for it, sign up for it, sign up for it. Only way I'ma change if I grow, only way I'ma.
All right, you guys, we're back at you with another banger on today. We're going to talk about prospect Matthew Golden. Definitely been a hot button issue in Detroit ever since he visited Detroit on last week. But definitely there's a lot of conversation talking about Matthew Golden being a replacement for Jameson Williams. We don't know what the Lions ultimately, at the end of the day, what they're going to do with the 28th pick overall. The Lions could go BPA. They could do offensive lineman. They could do edge. They could surprise us and just do things that Brad Holmes likes to do. And that's just pretty much leave us in shock. Sometimes we don't know what Brad Holmes is up to, but at the same time, man, you know, being able to get a receiver like Matthew Golden definitely is going to take a lot, especially if he's to slip all the way down to 28. I don't think that the Lions are going to be able to get Matthew Golden, you know, per se. You know, I don't think he's going to fall to 28. But at the same time, you know, because he is projected to be one of the top receivers in this draft. And we're going to give an overview of Matthew Golden so you can kind of get the opportunity to get to know who the player is. All right, Matthew Golden is a wide receiver from Texas who significantly improved his draft stock ahead of the 2025 NFL draft. He is known for his acceleration and his ability to make big plays, showcasing versatility by lining up in various positions and contributing in the return game as well. His 40-yard dash time of 4.29, which places him in the top percentile among prospects. Golden's height is 6 foot, and he weighs in at 195 pounds, making him a strong candidate for the draft. His performance at the combine and throughout the season have positioned him as a notable prospect in this year's draft. So definitely, man, Matthew Golden has what it takes to be the golden boy coming into the NFL, and definitely he has what it takes to be a top-tier receiver. Now, in 2024, he put up some notable stats that you can kind of get an idea of, you know, what type of receiver you're getting. He had 58 receptions for 987 yards. Average per catch was 17 with 9 touchdowns. And then if you want to go into his career, because he started at the University of Houston with the Houston Cougars, and then he ended up finishing out with the Texas Longhorns. He had 134 receptions to go with 1,975 yards receiving, average per catch 14.7, and he has 22 career touchdowns in his collegiate career. So definitely, man, a very, very good player that the Lions would be definitely getting in this year's draft if they was to come up to get him, or if he was to slip down all the way to 28, which I don't think that he's going to slip down and make it down to 28. There's no way that a dude that as fast as Golden is going to fall all the way and plummet to the Lions at 28, pretty much at the end of the draft. I just don't think that that's going to happen. But yeah, you know, could the Lions be thinking about replacing Jameson Williams? Of course, if Jameson Williams has a big year, the Lions will be forced pretty much to pay this guy. Not forced, but you know what I mean. You know, they're going to have to make a decision whether or not they're going to want to pay him the big dollars, because that'll be a lot of money doling out to the receivers. And I don't know if the Lions are trying to do the same thing that the Cincinnati Bengals did with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. I don't know if the Lions per se are trying to do that, because the Lions are very, very frugal when it comes to the money, but they do pay their players that pan out and things of that nature. And definitely, man, we don't want, you don't want to lose a good, talented guy like J-Mo. J-Mo is a very talented kid, but at the same time, everything is going to be predicated on his off-the-field antics. That's what the biggest thing that the Lions are going to be looking for coming into this season. Besides his ability to make big plays on the field, is he going to stay out of trouble in the offseason off the field? That's going to be the biggest thing going into this draft with a guy like Jameson Williams. But getting a guy like Matthew Golden, definitely who can replace, he could very well replace Jameson Williams, has the same top end speed pretty much. Dude ran a 4.29, and definitely, man, the Lions are looking to, make sure they upgrade the position. Now, could he play along with Jameson Williams and with St. Brown? Yeah, he could. He definitely could. He's a receiver that can play in multiple positions on the field. He can go outside and inside, so it's not going to be a problem. So we're going to go into his draft BO so you guys can kind of get an idea of what type of player Matthew Golden really is. Golden, a Houston native, carved his own unique path from Klein Cain High School to the University of Houston before making a splash in Austin with the Longhorns during the 2024 season. His rise to national attention wasn't straightforward. Initially committing to TCU, he later switched to Houston. There, he made a mark by setting freshman records with 7 touchdowns in 2022 over 2 years with the Cougars. Golden showcased his knack for scoring, finding the end zone 13 times through the air and adding 2 kickoff return touchdowns to his resume. Now in 2024, he transitioned to Texas, starting all 15 games and delivering his best performances on the biggest and brightest stages, including 162 yards in the SAC championship game and game-winning overtime touchdown in the Peach Bowl. Standing at 6 foot and weighing in at 195 pounds, Golden is a true speedster, bringing impressive track speed to the football field with a blazing 4.3 in the 40-yard dash. And we noted that pretty much he's been clocked at 4.3, 4.29 official time for Golden. So definitely, man, the kid is very nice, very talented receiver. And his high school days hinted at a future success, amassing 3,242 yards receiving to go along with 32 touchdowns while earning all-state honors as a 4-star recruit. His athletic talents extended beyond football, clocking in a 10.9 in the 100-meter dash in track and field, excelling in the triple jump and in his track career as well. In his final season at Texas, Golden proved he could compete against the top-tier opponents, featuring multiple 100-yard games in crucial late-season matchups. His evolution from a primary vertical deep threat at Houston to a versatile receiver in the Texas pro-style offense highlights his dedication to expanding his route repertoire and enhancing his game overall. We're going to go and dig into his strengths so you can really understand and evaluate what type of player you're getting with Matthew Golden. So if the Lions were to draft a guy like this, you would understand, he could be a great replacement for Jameson Williams, but at the same time, he could be a guy that could play with Jameson Williams, and the Lions could have one of the best wide receivers cores in the National Football League. But I don't think that Golden is going to fall that late in the draft at 28 to the Detroit Lions. But let's get into his strengths. Absolute burner who hits top gear in a flash. Defenders caught flat-footed against his vertical routes. Learn a painful lesson about respecting his speed. Shows advanced understanding of route tempo, masterfully changing speeds to set up breaks and create separation against both man and zone defense. Natural hands catcher who can contort his body and adjust to off-target throws while maintaining control through contact. Explosive playmaker after the catch with the vision and acceleration of a kick returner. Turns routine route catching into chunk plays. Nasty route runner who sells his break with conviction. Cornerbacks bite hard on his double moves due to his convincing head and shoulder fakes. Special team value as a proven kick returner who's housed 2 kick returns in 2023, averaged 31 yards per return, showing game-breaking ability, competitive at the catch point despite modest size, elevates and high points the ball with expressive body control and timing, consistently creates separation at the top of routes through sudden deceleration and explosive drives out of the break. We're going to go right into his weaknesses as well. Frame could use additional bulk to be better absorb contact and to maintain positioning against physical NFL corners who get hands on him. Concentration drop pops up more than you like to see. Focus seems to waver when thinking about running before securing the catch. Blocking effort and technique needs significant refinement, struggles to sustain engagement, and can get overpowered by defensive backs at times. Medical history raises some durability concerns with foot surgery in 2023 and previous rib injury limiting availability. Press release package needs expansion beyond athletic ability and currently relies too heavily on pure speed and quickness to win off the line. NFL offenses will find an immediate deep threat in Matthew Golden, who brings far more than just straight line speed to the table. His sophisticated understanding of route running and ability to separate at all levels will give offensive coordinators a vertical chess piece to deploy across the formation. While he's dangerous from any alignment, Golden truly shines on the outside, where he is a vertical, explosive, and sharp breaks create nightmares for defensive backs trying to stay in phase. The explosiveness shows up on film time after time. Golden has showed his remarkable college football playoff run where he emerged as Texas' go-to target. His stock is going through the roof, and you can see why the Detroit Lions would love to have a talented wide receiver like Matthew Golden. Golden is a golden child and can definitely play on the outside, and he can play in the inside. You can use him anywhere, and he's going to be that dude, man. Vertical deep threat. You can use him down the seams even, and hit vertical on you down the seam. So definitely, man, it's a lot to be to like about Matthew Golden. But will he initially be there at 28 when the Detroit Lions are drafting, or if the Detroit Lions decide to stay at 28? Will they trade up? We don't know what they're going to do. We don't know what Brad Holmes is up to. But at the end of the day, Matthew Golden would definitely be a great addition to the Detroit Lions if he was drafted in the first round by the Detroit Lions. So I don't know if he's going to replace J-Mo, but at the same time, this dude is box office. Peace.